In a distant and prosperous country, there stands a beautiful palace. The walls of the palace are made of white marble, shining softly under the sunlight, and the glazed tiles on the top are colorful, like a dreamland. There lived a luxurious king in the palace, who was obsessed with power and wealth, and was full of endless possessiveness towards everything in the world. The king's palace was filled with rare treasures from all over the world. There is silk from the mysterious country of the East, with soft texture and brilliant colors. There are gems of the western regions. However, the king was not satisfied with this. He always longed for more, and his inner desires were like bottomless pits that could never be filled. One day, a wandering bard came to the palace. The bard told the king that in the depths of the king's forest lived a magical nightingale. The song of this nightingale has magical power, which can make the sad forget the pain, restore hope to the desperate, and let the greedy learn to be content. When the king heard this, his heart moved. He had never heard such a magical song before, and decided to get this nightingale no matter what. Therefore, he dispatched a large number of soldiers to the forest to search for the nightingale. The soldiers searched the forest with difficulty. The trees in the forest were towering in the sky, and the branches and leaves were intertwined. Sunlight shone through the gaps in the leaves, forming a mottled light and shadow. Birds sang merrily in the branches, and wild animals moved through the grass. After searching for a long time, the soldiers finally found Nightingale in a quiet valley. The nightingale was taken to the king's palace. It was locked in a cage made of gold and precious stones. Nightingale fluttered her wings in the cage in horror. Its feathers were gray-brown, not gorgeous, but they revealed a natural beauty. Its eyes were filled with fear and anger. A king sat on a magnificent throne and looked expectantly at the nightingale. "Sing, sweet bird, let me hear your miraculous song," said the king. The nightingale refused to sing at first, and was furious at the king's imprisonment. But under the king's threat and lure, Nightingale finally compromised. It slowly opened its mouth, and the song flowed out of its throat like a clear spring. The song was melodious, like sobbing, as if telling the story of the forest and the beauty of freedom. The king closed his eyes and immersed himself in the song. His heart seemed to be washed by a spring, and those greed and desire gradually dissipated. He felt a sense of peace and contentment that he had never felt before. From then on, the king listened to the nightingale singing every day, and his temper gradually became gentle, no longer as extravagant and lewd as before. However, the good times did not last long. A foreign emissary came to the palace and brought an artificial nightingale. This artificial nightingale is made of pure gold and diamonds, and its whole body shines brightly. It has a complex mechanism in its stomach. The song of the artificial nightingale was crisp and loud, and the rhythm was neat, like knocking on a metal instrument. The king was attracted by the artificial nightingale's splendid appearance and mechanical singing. He felt that this artificial nightingale was more magical. Every night, the king would fall asleep listening to the song of the artificial nightingale. However, as time went by, the king discovered that the artificial nightingale's singing was beautiful, but it lacked a true emotion. Its singing is like a cold machine, without a trace of warmth or vitality. The king's heart began to empty again, and his greed and desire grew again. He began to frantically seize the people's money, expand the palace, and increase taxes. The common people lived in dire straits and complained. Just then, a disaster struck. A terrible plague swept the whole country. People fell sick and fell, and the shadow of death hung over every corner. The king was not spared either. He fell seriously ill and laid in bed, dying. In his coma, the king heard the familiar song again. The song was soft and warm, as if there was a magical power that comforted his soul. The king slowly opened his eyes and saw Nightingale standing at the window, singing to him. "Nightingale, is that you? You are back," the king said weakly. Nightingale nodded and continued to sing, making him feel extremely comfortable and relaxed. The king's condition gradually improved. His face gradually regained its ruddy color, and his eyes became brighter. "Thank you, Nightingale, it was your singing that saved me," the king said gratefully. "Your Majesty, Your greed and desire have brought this country into disaster. You should learn to cherish what is truly valuable and learn to care for your people," Nightingale said seriously. The king heard this and felt very ashamed. He realized how stupid and wrong his previous actions were. The king ordered the reduction of taxes on the people, opened granaries to provide relief to the victims. Since then, Nightingale has been accompanying the king. It continues to purify the king's heart and protect the peace and tranquility of this country. The artificial nightingale was placed in the warehouse of the palace and gradually forgotten by people. As for the future, what kind of stories will happen in this country under the protection of the king and Nightingale? People are full of expectation.